we don't want to just be too theoretical, hypothetical, right? We want to get into some of the specific business opportunities that we've seen here in Ghana and in other African countries as well. We can't do everything. Nobody can do everything. So one of the things we try to do here on Free Consultation is to give you free business ideas with a little bit of market analysis behind it. And of course, you're going to have to go do your own research, your own due diligence, and you got to pick what's right for you. But there are a lot of opportunities here in Ghana. And one of the ones I wanted to start talking about first was the opportunity to create mutual funds and portfolio management services. All right. The Ghanaian economy is such that there are not many passive investment vehicles where somebody can put their money into and have steady, relatively reliable growth and especially earn equity in some of these passive vehicles and be able to do it with smaller amounts of capital.
Very true.
And it's one of the things, this ability to, invest in these passive investment vehicles, primarily the stock market, is something that, in America is one of the biggest, if not the number one driver of wealth in America is investing in the stock market. The Ghanaian stock market isn't robust enough. There's not enough volume. There's not enough activity going on there for you.
I
to
think
really
education-wise, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough companies that are listed. There's not enough interest in it. The volume, the amount of trade and energy going into it is not enough to really be vibrant enough to give you a good investment opportunity frequently.
Okay.
Maybe here and there you'll get something, but I think a big opportunity is getting access to the U.S. stock market.
That's the thing.
And getting to own a piece of U.S. companies.
That's the thing.
I think there's one company that's in it, RiseVest.
Yes.
And I think there's a company here in Ghana, Ladder, that connects to RiseVest.
I know, right?
Gives you an opportunity.
I know.
Just because they're doing it, it doesn't mean that it's enough. They haven't done everything. They haven't thought of everything. There's a lot of things that I think they've overlooked. They're still young. And I think that this is a great opportunity because, look, if you can take your extra 300 or 400 cities every month and put it into a mutual fund and have that mutual fund grow, even 1 or 2% every single month. And remember, it compounds and compounds, and you keep putting that money in.
Exactly.
Over many years, you will be very surprised. I did it with you, for example.
Yeah.
You gave me, an amount that would be, let's say, around $80, $85 in 1,000 cities. You put that money into a mutual fund. I think within about 4 months, you had made more than 10% on your money.
Yes.
Right?
Which I was really impressed.
Plus, aside from the appreciation of the stocks, you also benefited from avoiding the depreciation of the city.
Yes. So
that
I mean,
another
exactly. That's another thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So just on the appreciation of stocks, you made about 11%. But then when you add the depreciation of the city, you made about 25%.
Yes.
In that 4 months.
Yes.
So in a year, maybe you would have made about 75%.
And that's crazy.
So that means your 1,000 cities, you can 1,000. So, and were you working for it? Now, let's say you put 1,000 cities every month. Every month you were doing that. Every month you were doing that. Every 4 months you're making that 25%. Listen, little by little, you build wealth.
I mean, I remember when you introduced that idea and you came and you spoke about that, and I remember when I went back home, I was like, this is something that it will be so essential for Ghanaians because we really have a trust issue when it comes to the financial sector, putting our monies in, some of these, because if I'm to remember, the most popular mutual fund that got a lot of Ghanaians interested back then was Databank. When Databank came into the scene, a lot of people invested into that. But unfortunately, due to some of, the men's gold, Wahala, all of these things, a lot of people really find it hard to really trust the financial system, especially in Ghana. So when I came to that realization that, okay, I mean, there's a possibility to have access to a market that is very reliable. That is very reliable. And again, it's also, investing in a currency that is consistently appreciating, especially in comparison with the city, So it's such a way that it made powerful sense because you're short of your consistent revenue. So it's key, and it's one of the things that a lot of people don't know, that it's not just, complete housing is a scope of one of the things that we do, but it opened doors to actually for us to pay attention to, the financial sector, to the employment sector and all of that. So, of course, the introduction of AfriCap, coming in and realizing that, okay, this could even combine with complete housing in relation to helping so many people even afford these homes with the compounding bits, because definitely you put these monies into some of these mutual funds. These monies can naturally compound. You give yourself a number of years, it can naturally compound for you to easily own a house, So it's something that people need to pay attention to. I give props to Mame Kwam. Definitely would like to have her on the show. The woman one of the co-founders of Ladder. Rice Vest. Totally amazing because it's needed. It's so key. Yeah. People need to have access to a market that would give them steady income. Yeah. And especially in relation to, as you said, if you can invest in some 300, some 400 cities and be consistently making this money, I mean, hey, Kujo, you're definitely touching lives. You are touching lives. And it's something that, AfriCup is definitely on. And I'm excited about it in collaboration with even, Complete Housing as to how much we can help people, own these homes easily.
Instead of worrying about buying the next iPhone, but why not buy some shares of Apple so that when people buy the iPhone, they're paying you. You understand?
Wow.
Instead of you worrying about buying the next iPhone or buying another pair of Nikes if you don't own shares of Nike. Look, the companies that you see all around you, most of them are really big companies that are pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to own some shares of Microsoft, Apple, Nike, Google?
Easily.
I mean, Google, man. Google is a lovely stock to own.
I know.
When people Google, I get paid. Like, think about it that way. When people Google, I get richer.
It's crazy.
Wouldn't you want that?
It's crazy, but I think a lot of education needs to be on this. But it's just that the whole cryptocurrency was something that really popular. It was much more popular, but if you recognize how long the stock market has been in existence and how consistent most of these businesses have been, on the stock market, it should tell us that it's a place where we need to invest in. And, again, it comes back to the influx of diasporans coming in to give such an opportunity because we didn't know this. I mean, a lot of people do trading and all of that, but to be able to now get some people coming in that they can open the door for Africans to invest in U.S. markets and U.S. mutual funds, Kujo. I mean, but
it requires partnership with people in Ghana who can understand the opportunity and understand the psychology, the cultural differences of Ghanaians and how they think about investing and how to reach them with that education. I think one thing I'm going to be trying to do is do some educational series on personal finance, on stock investing.
That's good.
I'm even, I might do a course on how to trade stock options for income. I might even try to show you a course about how you, as a Ghanaian, can own an LLC in the United States and use that LLC
that's beautiful.
A brokerage account in
that's beautiful, bro.
Open bank accounts in the United States
and
have access to everything in the United States. Remember, I'll teach you one thing right now. In America, a corporation is a person. So you can become a person in the U.S. without being a citizen.